What are some skinny people problems? Haha, this is like hugging my skinny mother. I want quality hugging time with her, but oh, so bony. I will add here that her skinny person problem was finding go-go boots that fit to her thin calves when those were the style. She and my grandmother had to hunt the entire city but did finally find some elasticized ones. Had a former co-worker who left the company, but ended up working in an adjacent industry, so she'd come visit the office occasionally. Nearly every time she visited she would ask me if I lost weight, because I look so thin. Am I eating right? No, I haven't lost weight. Yes, I am eating right. Please stop commenting on my weight as a conversation starter. I hate admitting this, but before my partner started working out seriously he was very bony and it was always just slightly uncomfortable to rest my head on his shoulder or chest. Really made a huge difference in comfort when he bulked up with a bit of muscle. I never said anything to him either way though. We both tend to the scrawny side, so I know how shitty remarks like that can make you feel. Edit, chill out y'all. I compliment him all the time on how amazing he looks and how much gains he's made. What I don't do is compare how he looks now with how skinny he used to be, or tell him he's easier to cuddle now that he's bulked up. That would be mean and defeat the whole purpose of the compliment. He constant commenting is tough. Even the casual, "Oh, you can eat anything, you're so skinny" moments just feel ick. I don't think about what my body looks like while I peruse the menu, but a comment like that puts me in my head about it, and then I'm thinking about how I should even respond to a statement like that, and then I can't decide what to order. This. I'm naturally skinny, but I also run ultra marathons and people's comment are so annoying: "You don't need to run, you're already so tiny," or "I wouldn't run if I was your size." It's like they think working out is all about weight loss and nothing else. I'm not going around calling people fat when they eat a burger and tell them I wouldn't eat that if I was your size. When you mention how you are out of shape and need to start getting back into regular exercise/running, and they just say "but you're thin and in shape already." Your body size is not indicative of how in shape you are, and it goes the other way too. If you are above average in weight, just because you weigh more than the average person also doesn't mean you are out of shape. Wristwatches can be a pain. I have very skinny wrists, so it was a bit of a search to find one where the watch face wasn't too big and overwhelming and the band was small enough. Similarly, jewelry, bracelets tend to be too big fairly soon, and I usually only wear rings on my index finger because those that fit my ring fingers fairly quickly end up being in the children's section. No boobs to speak of, so no cleavage, meaning shirts always fit weird. I can't really wear dresses because there's about 2 sizes difference between my top and my bottom, so either it fits my top but my hips won't fit, unless it's a super flared dress, or it fits my bottom but there's a ton of room around my boobs. I basically have to wear padded push-up bras just to make my clothes look halfway decent and my body sort of in proportions. Buying bras is another mixed bag. Small sizes often have small prices, but 9 times out of 10 I have to buy them online because my band size is so small. When I find a bra that fits well, I tend to buy it in several colors so I have a stash. And all the men like women with some meat on their bones, not stick figures. Well, gee, thanks. Yeah, I'm a thin, flat woman. The lack of boobs is definitely depressing. Even still at the age of 27 it bothers me and I find myself desperately wishing I had some cleavage every time I go shopping for new clothes. Lots of men claim they don't care. My current boyfriend is from Russia, I'm from the US, and he's always said some bullshit about how big boobs are a uniquely American standard. I can access the internet, I know men in Russia and pretty much everywhere like boobs LMAO, but a few months ago he drank an entire bottle of vodka and completely blacked out and straight up told me he lied to me and he loves huge boobs and wishes I had them. He didn't remember a thing the next day, he didn't even remember whose house we were at, and I never told him what he said. I don't fault him for the white lies he's told me for the sake of my feelings, but it does still hurt. Sounds absurd, but it was a huge deal in like middle/high school. I don't even think the boys cared that much, but it was a sort of contest among the girls. Having big boobs for girls was a lot like being big/tall for boys where I grew up. It really factored into how popular you were considered. I actually did get bullied for that, and that kinda dumb kid drama kinda sticks in your subconscious for life. I do have to say though, personally I just don't find the "eat a cheeseburger" comments that offensive. Yeah, people gave me shit and were trying to be mean, but it just wasn't really a burn. I think it's really obtuse to just ignore the fact that society values thinness, and while people will tease you for anything. This really wasn't that scalding. Like, I don't find them remotely comparable to fat comments. When I do gain weight, it unfortunately tends to goes to my stomach. Someone commenting on my belly would be 10x more painful than some real men like me bullshit. I just don't think it's anything like the shit overweight people get. I am 31, have been dealing with this since I was about 14, coincidentally I've been about the same height and weight since then. First time it happened, I slammed my face on my friend's kitchen table while talking with his dad. Freaked them out pretty badly. Happened again when I was being an altar boy at my parents' church. Scared my mother shitless. And another time in college I nearly fell into a coffee table and probably would have broke my neck if my friend hadn't been sitting right next to me and caught me first. The last time it happened I was with my girlfriend, now wife, and her parents waiting in line at a restaurant, and my would-be Mill was so scared she called an ambulance. That's when I decided I should probably go to the doctor and see what's up. That's when I found out that I have vasovagal syncope and I just have to eat more salt and drink more water so that my body will retain fluids better and keep my blood pressure more stable. Wait, shit, it's only supposed to happen in middle age? A mild version of it has happened to me since I was a teenager. I get dizzy and feel terrible if I skip even a single meal or simply eat too little for that meal. But then again, this only happened after I recovered from an eating disorder, so I wonder how much of it is placebo/my body freaking out that I'm going to do shit to it again. Oh man, finally my moment to shine. I'm not sure if this is cultural in Mexico, but many people think skinny equals your family doesn't feed you/you think you're better than anyone else/you are an a-hole/you don't want to eat. There's so much hate, everyone just has to comment on your appearance. Even with good comments, some people are like, "You're so cute, you are so small, I wish I was like you, how do you do it?" I know it's not with bad intention, but I do not want to start every conversation with why I'm skinny, or they just make it my whole personality. It's never, "Oh, she's the girl that does X," it's just that super skinny girl. Clothes I like never get to my size, it's always bigger or kids, and I'm a size 2MX. My foot is 18 centimeters long, I cannot find heels, and when I do they are too wide. Shoes normally start at 3/3.5 MX here. Cold, oh so cold. Stop picking me up. Me being small and skinny and easy to get picked up doesn't mean it's okay to do it. It's creepy, and everyone deserves boundaries over who touches them or how. As someone with a long torso, 6'2", and skinny body, clothes have to shop at big and tall stores. It's either long enough and really baggy, or tight enough and too short shopping retail. Pants too, don't find many 28 by 34 pants. I wish I could get even those tailored or something. I can't gain weight if I try. I have a manual labor job and I thought paid to work out, I can finally bulk up. Then after over a month of eating food until I feel sick, I gained like 5 pounds and haven't gained since then. I did replace some fat for muscle though. I can't gain weight if I try. I have a manual labor job and I thought paid to work out, I can finally bulk up. Then after over a month of eating food until I feel sick, I gained like 5 pounds and haven't gained since then. I did replace some fat for muscle though. Yo, same, My girlfriend always complains about her tub when she sees my flat tummy, even though she is a perfectly healthy weight with barely any tummy fat, and I love her thunder thighs. I finally am making progress to convince her she doesn't need to be as skinny as me. You're always freezing without body fat to keep you warm, and in the summer every business has their air conditioner set to Arctic blast mode. So you have to bring a sweater so you don't freeze to death in restaurants or movie theaters. And people make fun of you for carrying a sweater everywhere in the summer. Certain sex positions are painful if your partner is also skinny and has sharp collarbones, hip bones, etc. Cats and dogs won't sit on your lap or cuddle with you because they can't get comfortable. You get drunk after one beer, and fat/normal-sized people keep pressuring you to drink at parties. And my favorite as a woman, the passive aggression and bitchiness from other women, like rude comments wrapped up in the guise that they're just concerned about your health. And as a physically active thin person that eats well and actually enjoys being thin, the expectation that I have to be self-deprecating about it and say something about how I wish I had more curves but just can't gain weight no matter how much I eat, in order to be likable. Skinny shaming. Like I'm the sore, skinny thumb in a group of not skinny women who snidely look me up and down and appear to not want me around to remind them they are not skinny. This has happened many, many times in my life. With women only, BTW. I'm not an athlete. I don't work out. I eat pretty well, not a vegan or anything. I'm just made this way. Try not to judge me, too, you not skinnies out there. Two wrongs don't make a right. Thanks for letting me vent. I'm pretty tiny thanks to a good amount of medical problems. The sheer amount of disrespectful people that come up to me to poke my ribs and wrap their fingers round my wrist makes me cry regularly. Endless comments about needing a burger and my go-to Halloween costume having to be a skeleton. And I can't say jack shit about it either, because every time I'm told to take it as a compliment. I've started just telling my sob story of medical issues to make people uncomfortable, which still doesn't work because then I get told off by the latest groping Karen for making people uncomfortable. I have no win and a lot of too big sweaters to hide me in. I'm tired. A spontaneous pneumothorax. Now, obviously anyone's lungs can collapse, spontaneously even, but tall skinny people are at a much higher risk since there's some issues with growing that causes little blisters to form on your lungs that could pop and cause an opening to form at any time. Regardless, it happened to me about 2 years ago out of nowhere, landing me in the hospital for over a week. It's rarely fatal though and almost never causes death so long as you get it checked out. Some of the smaller ones can even go away on their own without need for surgery. There's also up to a 50% chance that once one happens it can reoccur, the chance only goes up the more it reoccurs. Luckily it only happened once to me, but I knew someone who was in the hospital constantly because his lungs kept collapsing. Scary stuff. I used to be really skinny as a teen, overcorrected as an adult. It made me a huge target for bullies, most of whom assumed I couldn't fight and was easy to beat on. I had to start fighting back on the regular and toughen up to put a stop to it. I had a really skinny coworker once. He slipped and fell at work and people laughed, until he didn't get up. Turns out this 22-year-old guy straight up broke his hip on the floor. So yeah, they're less durable against falling damage. From a woman's POV. Girls gossiping and accusing me of having an eating disorder starting in 5th grade, asking me if I was bulimic when I didn't even know what the word or concept meant. Teachers pulling me aside from class and asking me if I had enough to eat or if I had an eating disorder. Again and again. People, both men and women, randomly putting their hands around my wrists and waist whenever they want. They're so tiny. Personal space. And why is it okay to comment on skinny bodies but not larger ones? Just stop commenting on strangers' bodies. As a woman, you really just can't win no matter what you look like. I got bullied and teased because of how skinny I was/am. As an adult woman, I get some hate. But many women are teased and bullied no matter what their bodies look like. So we have to be the ones to love our bodies as they are. Also, having trouble finding clothes, belts, watches, hats, accessories that fit. Having to choose from the children's section, or having to pay to have things altered. As a kid, my dad put extra holes in my belts for me, and I had a trusty pair of red suspenders that got me through elementary school, which I loved, but did not help me win any popularity contests. My boyfriend is pretty thin and he hates biking because the seats hurt his ass. He does not understand why the world moved away from those large cushy bike seats. Also, he just straight up cannot gain weight. For a while he was trying to. He was eating almost 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day for 6 months and only put on 5 pounds. I've always heard weight gain/loss is all about cal in/out, but I've lived with the guy for years now and that is just not the case for him. I'm not skinny per se, I'd be called thin or slim I guess. One problem I face is how many people think it's wrong to fat shame but don't hesitate to make fun of skinny guys. I've had few people who are themselves obese make fun of my figure saying you need to eat something bro. I always feel weird when someone says this. Do they not realize they themselves are not a perfect specimen of a man? Skinny girl is considered hot by many, so for them I feel it's an advantage. Insta proves that. Skinny and tall here with long legs and I cannot find any pants that fit me DNSKDK. I always have to buy from second-hand stores to try to find vintage clothes because they have sizing that fits me, that's also long enough. Belts also never fit me. Also some things I hear a lot, haha you're literally a stick, do you even eat anything? When I say I'm trying to gain weight, just eat more, it's not that hard, are you anorexic or something cause, and the list goes on. What I'm seeing here is so much body shaming. For fat people and skinny people. I don't know why people can't just be nice and realize that fat or skinny doesn't define a person's worth and that many times it's a medical condition or psychological condition, just one that everyone could see. I wonder what people would do if all conditions were visible like that. Literally, nobody is perfect. Maybe we could focus on things that really matter more, in that case, This'll probably get buried, but here's one that's not obvious. Medications can hit you a lot differently than they do average-sized adults, and doctors don't always take that into consideration when prescribing your dosage. I'm not a sensitive wilting flower when it comes to meds, either. I've been taking meds for various health dysfunctions since my single digits. The problem is that when my weight creeps down even more from where it usually is, those same dosages that I once tolerated can suddenly hit me like a ton of bricks. I lost a rapid 20 pounds this past winter due to anxiety, and there were a few nights I flat out couldn't fall asleep because my body started shaking violently as I dropped off. Turns out my allergy meds plus a certain pain med had combined to wreak havoc on my blood sugar, and I had to adjust the dose according to my new weight. TLDR, it's hard to know sometimes, just going by height and weight, if you should be taking the full adult dose of medication or taking the child dose because you're not heavy enough to metabolize the normal amount. Never finding clothes that fit. In order to find pants that are long enough for your legs, you'll have to get the ones where the waist is too big. In order to make sure the waist isn't too big, the legs will be too short. Well, why not just wear a belt? We do. It just sucks because we have to either get a child-size belt and hope that it's not too small, or get an adult belt and hope they have a hole that makes it small enough for you. I just said screw it and got a tie-off belt so I can make it perfectly fit my waist. Same goes for shirts. If you want one that reaches your waist, you'll have to get one that's too wide. Want one that's not too wide? Enjoy tiny sleeves and constantly having to pull your shirt lower. I'm constantly hungry despite eating well because my mouth, and my wallet, can't keep up with my stomach. Got checked out when I was a kid because my parents thought I had a tapeworm, but nope, just a fast metabolism apparently. On a similar note, and keeping with the theme of a lot of comments here, both ends of the bell curve are dangerous in terms of body fat content, and I've spent my whole life straddling that 5% danger zone.